What's going on, everybody? Good morning over here from Folsom, California. My name is Michael Young and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to switch it up a little bit and we're going to talk more about fitness today. And I want to give you some tips on how to perform a squat and a lunge correctly and effectively. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so getting right into it, 3 tips to help you dial in your squat so you have that perfect bulletproof form. Tip number 1 has to do with our footing. As far as our feet are concerned, we're gonna wanna be at least shoulder width apart. I like to be a little bit wider depending on how I'm squatting, but my typical squat form is a little wider than shoulder width apart. Look at my hands as feet. We do not want our feet pointing straight ahead. As far as that's concerned, it's just a little unnatural. So what we're gonna wanna do is open our feet up. If we're looking at a clock, it's right in between 11 and 1, okay? So I have my feet open. This allows me to get down into my hips more, okay? Which is leading us into tip number 2. When we squat down, to avoid us rounding our back or to avoid us leaning into our knees or to avoid us doing any other bad kind of form, what we're gonna wanna do is keep our chest up, okay? Our chest up and our butt out, okay? So when I do this, I'm gonna turn to the side so you have a little bit better view. When I do this, so if I didn't keep my chest up and my butt up, what's gonna happen is when I come down here, I'm gonna fall down here. When you see this back round, that's very poor and you are going to hurt yourself in the long run. So what we wanna do to avoid that, like I said for tip number 2, is we're gonna keep our chest up as well as keep our butt out, okay? So when I do that, you can see how easy it is for me to sit here and my back is straight as an arrow, okay? I'm gonna do 2 more of these. Chest up. Another way to help you is to look up to the sky, keep your hands out, it's gonna help you balance more. And then come up, let's do 1 more. See how I stick my butt out here? This is just to help me sit into my hips, okay? So I can create that depth, okay? Last tip, tip number 3 is what we're gonna wanna focus on to put this all together. It's kind of like the cherry on top, okay? I don't know if you guys were looking at my feet here, but when we get down, I'm gonna stay to the side because I think you get a better perspective. When we come down into the squat, a lot of times, and especially if you're not warm, you're gonna see a lot of people start to pick up these heels. I call that the Michael Jackson. We wanna avoid that Michael Jackson. We do not wanna go onto our toes. We do not want our heels to come up. To avoid that, what we're gonna do, again, like I said in tip number 2, we're gonna just stick our butt out, okay? Stick that junk out. Shake what your mama gave you, ladies, okay? So what we're gonna do is, again, sticking that butt out. Look how easy, look at my toes, they're up. Now I can just go right down onto my heels and up. It's clean, it's easy. When I go onto my toes again, you're gonna feel a lot of pain in those knees and it's gonna be sooner than later, okay? So again, in order to put this all together, tip number 3, coming down, I'm on my heels, okay? I have a nice straight chest, my back's nice and straight, I'm coming up and I'm in it, okay? So those are the 3 tips, again, starting from tip number 1, okay? Feet shoulder width apart, feet are slightly angled out, pointing out to 11 and 1 o'clock, okay? Tip number 2, okay? When I initiate the squat, butt out, see that right there? Butt out, chest up, okay? And then tip number 3, these all kind of go together, guys. These do go together. So again, I stick my butt out, so it helps me allow to keep my heels down in tip number 3. Heels are down, and I'm coming up. I promise you, you apply those 3 tips to your squat, you're gonna be squatting like a pro in no time, okay? Now that's one exercise. Let's move over to the walking lunge. All right, guys, wanted to change the scenery up a little bit for you. Now getting right into it, we have our exercise number 2, walking lunge, okay? So instead of 3 tips this time, I like to break this movement down into 4 segments. I've been doing this for years. I'm smiling thinking back when I first started doing all of this, okay? So tip number 1, okay? All we're gonna do is step, okay? This is part number 1, 4 parts. So we're gonna step. When I step, I'm gonna make sure that I'm more so on my front foot. About 70% of my weight, 80% of my weight is gonna be on my front foot. My front foot is flat, but my heel, I'm gonna make sure that heel is down just like that squat. And as you see my back foot, I'm on my toes, just for a little extra balance. If I fall back, I have a little bit more control, okay? Number 2, I'm gonna go straight down. Now when I go straight down, okay, relating to that squat again, I want to stay on my heel as well as utilize this hip, okay? So when I come down, I'm anchoring down. See, my toes are up. If you need to, keep your toes up. That's going to help you stay down on that heel. Coming down, okay? Number 3 is just pushing up out of that heel. And number 4 is leaning in and walking through it, okay? Very easy, right? Very easy. So let's do it one more time, okay? So step 1, I'm gonna step out here. I'm on this about 80%, 70%, flat on my heel, okay? On my toe on my back foot. Number 2, we're gonna come down, staying on that heel, okay? Also, I'm gonna rest here just to give you another tip on number 2. When I come down, this back leg is also gonna bend, okay? Sometimes you'll see some people doing a lunge and it'll be like this. Just bend that back knee, okay? And you're gonna see you're able to attain a little bit more depth. Okay, so going back. 1, 2, bending the knee on my heel. 3, up. 4, step through, okay? Let me show you live here. Bam, here. Bam. 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 Okay guys, take this movement slow. The slower the better. We are not in a race. The more you focus on your form, the sooner you're gonna get to that destination, okay? Hopefully you guys like these exercises, you guys like these tips. Feel free to leave a comment. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Share the video to anyone. I know a lot of people out there, I've seen you guys in the gym. I know a lot of people out there have a little bit of trouble, you know, performing your squat, your lunge, or any other kind of exercises correctly. So I think I'm gonna be doing this. I like this, feels good. So again, thank you for you guys watching. I'm out of breath. I'm gonna go get some food and I'll see you in the next video.